So I welcome all our distinguished panelists in the panel. Today we are going to discuss a very pertinent topic for the webinar, that is skilling youth to build the future of India. So we have amongst us distinguished panelists starting from Mr. Ashish Jain, CEO, Health Skill Sectors Council, and then we have Medha Unyal amongst us, program coordinator, program director, Pratham Institute. We have amongst us Ashish Malhotra ji, project manager, World Skill India. Then a very special guest amongst us is Taslim Mohiddin, who is World Skills India champion. So this consists of our panelists, and I'm looking forward to a very enriching discussion amongst us on how to skill the youth and how it is going to build the future of India. But before that, I want to share some the work that CSR has done so far. Center for Social Research has done so far on the skilling sector, and how it is relevant for today's world, particularly under the COVID-19 situation, and how it is going to build the future of India. So I'm sharing the screen. Just a moment. Please enable me to share the screen, please, Poshari.
Hello, Mansi.
Hello, ma'am.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. I will be there.
Dr. Ranjana Kumari is also here. I welcome her.
Okay, so I will be there, Mansi. Just go ahead, yeah?
Okay.
Okay, I will be listening to you all.
So we have built up a Center for Excellence on Women Skill Development in our Gurgaon building, which is at Sector 44 near the Huda City Center. So the concern is like the female workforce participation is steadily deteriorating, and present we are at 23%, 23.3%, which is very low considering the 2014 workforce participation rate that was 28%, and we are steadily declining. So that is a concern in trade, concerning trend. And we have introduced, just looking at it, some on which is not conventional, unconventional mode of training, which is like unarmed women security guard training program, and the other is women office assistant training program, women officer assistant training program. And then looking at the situation of under COVID-19, where it was challenged to meet face to face and train people. So we have introduced online officer assistant co-ed training, where boys and girls both were trained. And the previous two training programs, as you can see, is specifically for women and girls. So the future endeavor, what we are looking at is to venture into the healthcare sector, because under the COVID-19 we have seen unprecedented demand for home healthcare aid. So we are venturing, we are looking
Good afternoon, everybody, from Khanna.
We are extremely sorry for the inconvenience. Okay, ma'am is here.
Sorry for the inconvenience. So yes, I was sharing with you some of our pictures of successful candidates who have been trained by CSR. Um, the people coming up for. So why do we normally train people? It's not that only for gaining employment or successfully earning their living, but also to impact some personal development in them, like confidence building, decision making, mobility, status within their family, physical ability. So these are milestones also simultaneously we achieve through our training programs, so that whenever like a person comes out from our CSR training program, he becomes completely equipped, and as a fully holistic development takes place within this training. So about skill development during the office assistant training program, opportunity to learn during online during lockdown, bridging the gap between skill acquired and the demanded skill in the market, guaranteed placement opportunities once they pass out from our institute. So we have partnered with many institutions, many organizations, and we are thankful to them for their support and encouragement. So these are the institutes: MEPAC, Skill India, NSDC, Honda Human Rights from German Embassy, and German Embassy supported some of our programs. Thank you. So with this, I will request all the panelists to briefly enrich us with their experience, what they think skilling youth during this period will enable us to build the future of India. 5 minutes each to each of the panelists. Kindly, sir, Ashish Jain, sir, to begin with you.
Sure, Mansi ji. I think I saw the extremely wonderful presentation from you depicting what has been done by CSR till now, especially for the women. I think commendable work, and I think I also noticed that now you want to move to the healthcare. So welcome to the healthcare. We look forward to you working with you as well in terms of training for healthcare, especially for home health aid. Going forward in terms of your how and what skilling can be done, I just want to share very, very briefly. I think this skilling journey actually started in a sense 5 years ago, while the honorable PM has launched the Skill India mission on July 15, 5 years ago. But if you see on the other hand, probably skilling has been happening in the country in some way or the other, since ages. But first time, I think within this government, the formal structure to skilling was provided by this government, and the NSDC was in the forefront leading the efforts, and which I think government all well supported NSDC, and then came in the sector skill councils, and everybody. It's like a kind of an ecosystem is created around skilling. So what would happen is, in the earlier days, while I'm talking about almost 5 years, so I've been associated with almost, this organization for 5 years now, and I've seen a tremendous change happened over the last 5 years. Initially, if you would have spoken about skilling, probably, only few people would have heard of a skilling. Skilling kya hai? अच्छा से बच्चा क्या करेगा? And those are all some common questions which were which were there in the minds of parents, which were there. And I'm sure CSR team must have also seen those questions. Still, parents asking, "Acha, skilling hai to karega kya iske baad?" But what I see gradual shift and change happening over the period now is this, that people are now recognizing skilling programs as equivalent to vocational and educational, and they're finding it important. Why important? Because I think skilling is giving them the employment guarantee, which is not being given by any educational program. So I do not mean to say that education is not required or education programs are not to be done, but I'm saying skilling programs have now reached to a certain stage where, while the honorable PM has spoken about skilling from international forums, national forums, so now skilling is known everywhere. Parent is aware about skilling programs. Parents are willing for to send their students to skilling program, and so is the students as well. As you mentioned, I think one of the great testimony to it is Tasleem, who is with us today. I think if he would have spoken about 5 years back, and Ashish is also here, he has been continuously dealing with the world skills. So I think 5 years back, nobody actually knew what is world skills in India. What is about, is this important to participate in world skills? So I think it's been the consistent effort of the NSDC and the entire ecosystem of the MSD, etc., that we now know what is skilling all about, and we have bring it to the forefront. So we are nowhere now saying it's a fourth option. We may still be looking after the education, but I think we had now being recognized, awareness has been created around skilling now, and which is a great effort. I think we have traveled quite a far in this 5-year period. Currently, if you go to talk about youth and then how they are looking going forward, even if you go to colleges today, so what is happening is skilling has not been only limited to the institutions; it has gone to colleges now. So we ourselves partner with so many colleges where we're providing skilling courses. We have partnered with universities where we are providing skilling courses, and students are willing to take those skilling courses. I think why this is happening, because even the university, colleges, youth now see it as a good opportunity for them to take as a career and move forward along with their education as well. So it's not either the skilling or education. I think what we have come is we are seeing a combination of education and skilling now, which would actually excel the youth in terms of getting the educational knowledge which is required, but as well as very, very important is getting a job as well after doing that training. So I think whatever you do, at the end of the day, you need a job. You need to be employed, gainfully employed. You need a livelihood. If you can't do it through education alone, I think there has to be something additional. I think skilling has done that additional, and even providing jobs to people, helping people, training people, which are always left. In the sense, if you go to far-flung rural areas or hinterland where you will not find much of opportunities for people, there also the students, youth are being trained now in large numbers. So I would not talk about healthcare sector only. So if you talk about health sector, we have almost trained 5 lakh people in the last 5 years. And of that 5 lakh people, 1.75 lakh people have been deployed for COVID-19 in the current scenario. So I think Skill India has made a considerable amount of a contribution to go hand in hand with the national policies. So just to another example, and I'll close after that. We have been partnering with Ayushman Bharat, which is a great scheme for providing the medical facility in the country to our countrymen. So we are training for them. We are partnering with our national missions to provide that workforce which is required, and this is a win-win situation. At the one end, the missions required trained workforce. At the same time, our youth required that employment. So what we are trying to do along with the entire ecosystem is bridging that gap and make the youth actually employable and work ready from day one. So that's all I think in the initial remarks. I'll be happy to take any questions later on. Mansi, you have to unmute yourself.
Yes. So Medha ji, हम are coming to you. Like आप grassroots level के एक organization deal करते हैं जिसमें बहुत सारे youth को train करते हैं. I would request the participant to kindly mute yourself so that the discussion is not hampered. So बहुत सारे youth को deal करते हैं. आपसे सुनना चाहेंगे, how during this difficult time, how do you think we should mobilize the youth towards skill training, particularly when the digital access is limited and many people have technological challenges?
Sure. So I think Ashish has set the context for the conversation really well. हम लोग भी प्रथम में we are a largely educational organization, and we started working in skill development about 15 years ago. And very rightly, like Ashish said, उस समय कोई जानता नहीं था. That time all the conversation used to be around ITIs and जो 1 साल 2 साल लंबे courses होते थे. And back then when we said कि vocational training करनी चाहिए, और हमने शुरुआत की hospitality से. We said what's an industry that has demand, that has good supply, where will we be able to place students and train them quickly. I think all of those frameworks that NSDC looks at very closely. So we were approaching it with the same way, and we went around, I'm told, saying कि ये shorter करना पड़ेगा was our belief system, that you can't have students away from people with actual need, away from the workforce for very long. So ये 1 साल and 2 साल also is a huge opportunity cost for people जो बिल्कुल भी afford नहीं कर सकते. And so the question was, how do we shorten it? And all the stories I hear from everybody who was there at the beginning of us setting our organization is everybody was telling us, are you crazy? हम उस समय बोलते थे 4 महीने का कोर्स करेंगे, and the larger question was कि कैसे करेंगे. And back then we tied up with Taj saying ki, you know what hospitality is, hopefully we know what pedagogy is, and then we'll probably get other players involved. So it's really good to be in a conversation where we are all now on the same page, where I think all of us realize that there is a huge need for things to be very job oriented. Training and education is all important, but unless it's linked to a final outcome of jobs, all of this is very difficult. So I think completely agree that the last few years, I think NSDC has done a great job with just setting context, bringing everybody together to be able to set this up. So to your question, Mansi ji, we went into everybody went in, like before even the country went into a lockdown, I think states से हमें questions आने शुरू, notices आने शुरू हो गए थे कि अभी centers बंद करने होंगे. We work with primarily very rural parts of India. हमारे 120 vocational training centers हैं spread across 15 states. तो हम lots of presence of course in Maharashtra, but we're spread across the country. तो हमें notices आने लग गए थे कि, and residential centers हैं, that we'll have to stop training. So I think abhi tak we were all in the business of providing vocational training to people and providing skilling to people. What the law, like what this entire experience has done is, as an organization, we've gone through an experience of skilling. तो हमारी सारी जो teams थी, before we talk about technology से हमने कैसे use करना शुरू किया, I think there was a huge process where all our teams sort of had to undergo before we started training people using digital tools. The idea was for us to learn how to use them. So there have been challenges, there have been successes. I think to expect जो हम physically कर पाते थे वो virtually and digitally कर पाएंगे, I think is not going to happen. वो possibility है ही नहीं, और उस उम्मीद से हमें शायद जाना भी नहीं चाहिए. But it opens up new opportunities. So what we're seeing is पहले हमारा hands-on training was our biggest strength, but we would be able to reach limited people क्योंकि हम mobilize, we would go door to door, we would go to villages, we would go to different parts and colleges to train to bring students. अभी हमने webinars शुरू कर दिए हैं, virtually messages, WhatsApp के through लोगों से contact करना शुरू किया है. And in the last month and a half that we've organized these, we've had about 4 lakh people join our webinars of ours on our YouTube channel, which has been quite amazing. Not to say कि सब लोग अभी course join करेंगे, but I think a big challenge is just spreading awareness that I think Ashish also alluded to earlier. तो अभी awareness की कम से कम हम काफी बड़ी scale पे digitally इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं. I don't want to take too much time and we can delve into some of these parts later. I think the successes are कि आप हमें समझना पड़ेगा digitally क्या किया जा सकता है और किन चीजों को hands on करना पड़ेगा. I think वो सबसे बड़ी जरूरत है. दूसरी चीज है digital access सबको नहीं है equal, वो हमें पहले से समझ के चलना पड़ेगा. तो for us, for instance, very immediately we realized कि हमारे 75% students जो थे जिन्होंने आधे में course छोड़ा, 75% male students हमारे online join कर पा रहे थे. वो आंकड़ा सेम नहीं था महिलाओं के लिए. तो that number even for women in Bombay was at about 60%. And not just because they didn't have phones, but also because they have to join, they have to cook also. तो अगर आप 1 o'clock को webinar कर रहे हैं, women cannot join. They have to pieces जो हमें बिल्कुल भी सोचना नहीं पड़ता एक physical residential training center में, वो सारी चीजें अभी I think have come to the forefront. There are lots of other learnings that have happened, but I think the big thing is there's a lot of uncertainty. ये physical training कब शुरू होगा, कैसे शुरू होगा? It will be really good to hear from the rest of the panel also कि आगे इसको कैसे लेके जा सकते हैं. But I think सबसे बड़ी चीज जो जाननी है कि in all of these uncertainties, the only certainty we have is कि नौकरियां लोगों को चाहिए. पिछले 1.5 weeks 100 of our students have now rejoined jobs. Very small number, about 1 lakh students. But so I think that अब वो 2 महीने की ट्रेनिंग है कि नहीं, immediately नौकरी पे जाना होगा कि नहीं, I think those are questions. But I think just being aware of the limitations that technology has, but also the opportunities it offers is a good starting point. It's a very long answer, not necessarily answering every part of it, but happy to come back or answer in more specifics कि हमारे अलग-अलग courses में हमने कैसे pivots किए.
But I am very happy, Medha ji, like आपने ये highlight किया कि women की time and space को training के दौरान कैसे respect रखना चाहिए, उसका value रखना चाहिए, otherwise training will not be successful. Coming to Ashish Malhotra ji, sir, I would like to know from you, how do you look at the skilling of youth who will be building the future of India?
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. Speakers before me, Ashish and Medha, they have actually covered quite a lot of broad topics. And what Medha rightly said, that Ashish has set the tone correctly so that we can build upon it. I will be talking specifically about one of the options in which the youth, through skills, can build the future of India, which is one of the flagship of NSDC, which is called World Skills India. It is a competition like we have Olympics and Commonwealth Games. It is a multi-sport event. This is a multi-skill event. So there are 6 categories. Under 6 categories, there are 56 trades in which each country decides in which they want to participate at international level. So this competition internationally happens once in 2 years. So it's a 2-year cycle. So what we have done, we have created a domestic brand called India Skills. So under India Skills, we reach out to grassroots level, to all the states and state skill missions, all the union territories, and we promote them to conduct the skill competitions in the skills which they want to choose at district level, zonal level, and at state level. So once they candidates participate in that, then they are filtered, and we do about 5 regional competitions in India. So after 5 regional competition, again the shortlisting happens, and India Skills, which is a national competition, that takes place. And out of that, we select top two candidates in each skill. We train them, we give them exposure domestically, in the industry, in academics, and international. So when the other countries do competition, we take them for an exposure. And ultimately, one candidate is selected, and he or she represent India in that particular skill. One of our speakers, Tasleem, is also one of the part of last year competition. See, she would, I guess, more specifically can tell you what all she went through the stages, because that is one opportunity we have created to provide to youth of this country. That they have the option, if they are into the trade, they have the option to participate in it, and if they win, they are selected for the country. So what happens once they are selected for the country, the training is so rigorous that the industry automatically takes them hand on. So this is not just, the country is one output. So once they go through this process, this is a movement. And it not only enhances or enrich their lives, it also enhances their family, their community, their state, and ultimately their careers. So this opportunity, they should make use of it, because this is not the normal training what in other schemes and other institution does. This is a little high level training which is used in a daily work routine, and it is a global, with a global perspective. So once person goes through this, they are well equipped to actually contribute substantially in the future in whichever trade or sector they pick up. I would suggest that there would be certain students or young people also listening to this in this webinar. If they are, they have not registered this year, they should register for next year. So that World Skills or India Skill is a competition which is actually seeing is believing. It is actually a spectacular event, and the entire experience changes the perspective, the perception. It creates a pathway. एक रोड मैप बन जाता है आपको एक अपनी आइडेंटिटी क्रिएट करने का, और जो भी इसमें इन्वॉल्व होता है एज वेदर कैंडिडेट और एक्सपर्ट और ट्रेनर और इंटरप्रेटर at whatever level there. And what I feel, I started this journey in 2013, and I've done 3 international skill competition, Brazil, Abu Dhabi, and Kazan. And I believe it's just the beginning of the massive movement. And every year we learn, and it is continuous learning. So the youth should avail this opportunity. It will not only contribute to their skill part, it will contribute to their personality, it will contribute to their future as well. So if they are positive about their future, they are confident, and with that they can mitigate the challenges of the manpower which industry and academia feel at the moment, and they can create magic if they are actually into it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for enriching us. Coming to you, Tasleem, I want to hear from you. How do you think skilling up youth will build the future for India?
Thank you, ma'am. So first of all, I feel very honored to be here among all the speakers. It's a great opportunity for me. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, because as Ashish sir said already, they have seen the progress, they have seen my training. He has spoken about a lot of how World Skills will be and how the training will be. I want to share my experience, how these trainings in World Skills as well as how India Skills or World Skills has changed my life and what was the impact. So first thing was I after my 12th standard in my house, and I also saw some of the courses being offered by CSR, especially for women. So after my 12th standard, there was a question in my family that whether I have to pursue my higher education. So I somehow convinced my parents and joined in Apollo MedSkill Chennai for a diploma course in dialysis technology. So during my second year, I got to know about India Skills, a notice coming from Healthcare Sector Skill Council to nominate a competitor for India Skills. So I badly wanted to be in the part of India Skills. I wanted to show my potential. I wanted to show how I can, I wanted to prove my talents in that. So first, when I was competing in India Skills, there was no state level organized by Tamil Nadu. So it was happening in 2018. So I straight away went to the online competition, and then it went to district level, track 2, organized by Healthcare Sector Skill Council. Then I got selected there. Then straight to the regional level competition, because there was no state level competition organized by Tamil Nadu that time in 2018. So I won. I'm the winner in Bhubaneswar in healthcare, health and social care. So after that, there was boot camp organized in every level. After winning in regional competition, I had got training in boot camp trainings in hospitals like Medanta in Haryana. after the training period in Apollo MedSkills Hyderabad, the boot camp training, then Haryana, Medanta. After that, I'm the gold medalist in national competition in Delhi. So after winning the competition, out of 100%, let's say 90%, I had only fear, because now I'm going to be the person who's going to represent the country now. People are going to see me as India, not as Taslim here and after. So 90% fear took over me, and only 10% of happiness that I won the competition there. And after that, as Ashish sir said already, there was a training given to me. In that training, I've learned every life skills, let's say. I've learned about communication, public speaking, image development. Everything was carried out in the training itself, along with the training for world skills, health, and social care. Along with that, I've learned all these, the communication part, image development part, public speaking, because there we are I'm going to represent the country among 63 countries were there. Among 63 countries, I'm going to be recognized as India. So when we go to the training, the training was about for almost after October 2018 to August 2019, the World Skills training was gone there in Apollo MedSkills Hyderabad. The impact, especially the impact, I won after winning the gold medal. I got 1 lakh. And after winning the regional competition, I got 21,000. And after winning the medallion, like after going to Russia, the stress, the depression, everything in the training, when I was walking in the auditorium with the flag, Indian flag, I was in the front. It still gives me goosebumps when I talk about that moment. I'm walking in the front with the national flag. Ashish sir was in the front, and to his right side, I'm there walking in front with the flag. That is the moment which still gives me goosebumps. There's like thinking of that moment will only come in front of my face as happiness. So there is nothing else. Like world skills is just happiness to me, because that moment walking with the flag representing India on the stage auditorium among lakhs of people is like can't be explained in words. So after winning, they have seen me, Ashish sir has seen me, the HSSC team is completely seeing my training progress, how the training was, how I badly needed the medal. Like I won the medallion for excellence. After winning the medallion for excellence, after coming back here, now there is a competition organized by Tamil Nadu team this year. For India Skills when I was going to India Skills, there was no state level at all. My state didn't take up the competition. They didn't organize it in the state level. But this time for India Skills 2020, I'm being the brand ambassador along with 2 more competitors from Tamil Nadu, and they are organizing the state level competition this time. So I'm happy that we have made some impact. And also we are 3 girls, like we are 3 daughters in my family. So there was a question after I complete my 12th standard, there was a question from my parents, like whether I have to pursue my higher education. Now they are very much interested to put my sister into vocational education. She is after her 12th standard, she is now aiming to become a cardiologist. She is saying that I'll be in a paramedical course. So like I'm very happy that I'm making an impact. And also there are so many youth I meet after coming from Russia, after winning a medallion. I'm meeting a lot of youth in the process of India Skills registration. After the India Skills registration, the orientation program, I'm meeting a lot of youth, and everyone, they are now showing a lot of interest in the skilling part and the vocational education after they see the success, after they see the impact on me. So after winning the medallion, I got 2 lakhs. There is a financial stability also in the family. So after seeing the success, after seeing the impact it has I have got in my life before and after World Skills, I see a complete different person. Before World Skills, I don't talk much. There was no confidence in me. As after the training I've been going through, the difficult training, like it has completely changed me into a new person. So there are so many people I meet after I come from Russia. They're now showing interest in the vocational training. So once they show interest, when they are equipped and when they are getting the proper training, definitely they will be getting the proper salary for their passion. So when they are following their passion, it won't be like a job, it won't be like a burden for them. When they're following their passion, it will build a very beautiful career for them. Thank you.
Thank you, Taslim, for highlighting so many things. I'm really proud listening to you. I could feel how much proud you must be feeling representing India and with your personality development. To share with you briefly, CSR also ventured into this skill training, and the first batch of our trainees consisted of domestic violence survivors. intimate partner bhava, all those ladies, all those women were circumcised. So what
Ma'am, your
happened
voice
is
is not
after
audible.
the training, the personality development was so much that they were beaming with that confidence that was showing in the face. They themselves told us like, "Oh, we have a changed personality altogether." And when their salaries come to their bank account and they have a bank account where they could make decision regarding their spending, they were like, all success, those things were beaming in their faces. Coming to you, sir, Ashish Malhotra ji, coming to you, what kind of initiative could be to enhance the digital access and skills should be scaled up for women? To enhance the digital access.
See, the digital access is the new normal going forward. और ये जो कोविड का टाइम है, सब घर पे रहे हैं, इससे कुछ तो आइडिया हो गया होगा और कुछ तो प्रैक्टिस हो गई होगी सबकी. So the organization or the institution which are engaged in training, imparting training, and the candidates who are going to receive the training, whether whichever background they are from, it does not matter. Now the thing is that people need to invest in as an organization and as individuals on the technology devices on which these online trainings and education can happen. So once that is the basic. After that, the content development is happening all over, and a lot of content SSC has already developed, which they are anyway sharing. So this is what I see as organization initiatives and personal initiative, both combined will enhance the digital access for everyone.
मेधावी एक सवाल मेरे मन में आया that जो स्किलिंग के इकोसिस्टम बिल्ड करने के लिए कौन से टाइप का है? What are those collaborations which are needed for building the ecosystem for skill?
Actually, I lost you for a little bit. मैंने सुना कि स्किलिंग इकोसिस्टम, उसके बाद आपकी आवाज कट गई.
Okay, स्किलिंग इकोसिस्टम बिल्ड करने के लिए किस तरह की कोलैबोरेशन की जरूरत है?
I think collaboration तो on all fronts किया जा सकता है. मतलब अगर मैं for example आज का panel discussion ही सुनूं, I think what Tasleen said is very, very inspiring. After her, all of us, I don't think, need to speak because she's really well summarized what her experience was. And the really important role, to be honest, that stories like this also. So if I were to just look, if we had to take Tasleen's story to every district in India to inspire girls, the very fact that she's a brand ambassador is amazing. But अगर इस टाइप की कहानियां हम सभी शेयर करें एक दूसरे के साथ, फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इट वुड बी रियली रियली इंपॉर्टेंट. हमने देखा है जो स्टोरीज, एंड इट साउंड वेरी क्लीशेड कि स्टोरीज हैव अ ह्यूज इम्पैक्ट, बट इट्स इनक्रेडिबल. लाइक इन अ विलेज व्हेन वी सी वन गर्ल कम्स आउट, बिकम्स एन इलेक्ट्रिशियन, हमने देखा उसके बाद 30 लड़कियां निकल के आ जाती हैं, इलेक्ट्रिशियन बनना चाहती हैं अगर उनका एक्सपीरियंस अच्छा हो. सो आई थिंक देयर आर पॉसिबिलिटीज ऑफ कोलैबोरेशन ऑन ऑल फ्रंट्स. आई थिंक जो हमारे सबसे बड़े बॉटलनेक्स हैं आर अराउंड मोबिलाइजेशन, राइट? आई थिंक that's something consistently all vocational training providers talk about. Ki, mobilization is really hard. So I think joining hands, we provide training, for example, for 6 verticals. There are lots of players who provide them for others. Just to be able to, when I go, we have to go to about 100 students to get 2 people into our training course. That's the ratio that we work with. And so that's because we offer 6 opportunities. If I were to say ye organization CSR 4 or courses karte hain, how do we collaborate? I think that has a lot of possibilities, and that's something we tried in Maharashtra in collaboration with the Maharashtra Skill Development Society and with the UNDP, and we saw great success. So I think mobilization एक तरीका है जहाँ पर हम collaborate कर सकते हैं. I think जब से ये digital courses होने शुरू हुए हैं, automatically people have started collaborating. It's become now a need. So a lot of digital courses are being shared amongst players. All of our content is open source, for example, and free, and we're happy to share it with people. So we are working with a whole lot of partners कि आप हमारा content ले लीजिए, अगर आपको भी करना है आप कर लीजिए. Our videos are all free, and I think a lot of partners are giving their content to us as well. I think that's an easy way of collaboration. Placement may support. I think there's some spaces, but I think mobilization, creating stories and a general consensus ki aspiration building karni chahiye, and content are very, very easy, low hanging fruits. I think placement kaise kare, geographies kaise kare is slightly more complicated, and it's been thought about, and it's very, very complex. But I think these are some lower hanging fruits jo immediately at least soche jate hain. Message on mute.
Okay, okay. So, Ashish Malhotra ji, I would like to know how the schemes that the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship has introduced in the past are helping people in this time of crisis.
What does the output of a scheme is understanding and knowledge and what and how the thing. So before people who engaged in this skill training, I'm sure they are doing some practice or they're individually online. So it opens for self employment. That is one thing which has happened during this point of time. So that is a major thing which has happened as in during COVID, because jobs right now everything is training is at standstill, placement is really happening. So the only option which is left is these entrepreneurship. So that is also another which is a positive side of COVID or difficult times what we have right now. That is what it has given.
Okay, sir. Coming to Ashish Jain, sir. Sir, give us models. Healthcare sectors recently launched online learning platform on COVID-19.
Physical classes, in physical classes is a challenge, not permitted also. I think training is yet to start in full-fledged kind of trainings to yet to begin. I think keeping all in this, all this in mind, what we did is we figured out that in the current scenario, it may not be possible for us to conduct training physically with the students or the healthcare workforce. What we devised quickly is an online platform where we could do training specifically for COVID, and it is meant for people who are already skilled and some healthcare background. We actually further trained them to be, to fight for COVID and become COVID warriors. So what we did is we created modules which is being, based on the Ministry of Health, guidelines. AIMS faculty helped us to put that kind of modules together. With this module, what we did is it was meant for any and every healthcare workforce kind of person who is working in the healthcare. So there is something for everyone in that module, and it was not customized or curtailed for only people who are working in A area or B area or C area. It's a kind of a general module which gives everyone something to learn and how they should be actually operating during this time. उस मॉड्यूल में हमने उनको ये सिखाया कि अगर आप अपने एक तो हुआ कि हॉस्पिटल में आप कैसे करेंगे, हेल्थ केयर फैसिलिटी में है तो हाउ यू शुड बिहेव, व्हाट यू शुड डू एंड व्हाट यू शुड नॉट डू. बट एट द सेम टाइम वी आल्सो लुक्ड एट व्हेन यू गो बैक टू योर होम, आपको क्या सावधानी रखनी है, घर पे जाके आपको क्या करना है ताकि आप किसी वजह से अपनी बीमारी घर वालों के साथ ना शेयर करें, अपनी फैमिली के साथ शेयर ना करें, उसे कैसे अवॉइड करेंगे. दोज वर गिवन. And I think we've gone into very, very specific. We brought in again, say, हमारे देश में वेंटिलेटर्स की बहुत कमी थी. जैसे आपने देखा होगा लास्ट टाइम भी प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कहा था अपने आत्मनिर्भर अभियान में कि हम लोग 50,000 वेंटिलेटर्स बनाएंगे कंट्री में. which is being manufactured now and being given to the healthcare fraternity. So ये 50,000 वेंटिलेटर्स तो बनेंगे, लेकिन इनको ऑपरेट करने के लिए वर्कफोर्स कहाँ से आएगी, इनको ऑपरेट कैसे करेंगे, who would actually work on these ventilators in the country? So what we did is we organized webinars with the experts who would be teaching them how to manage the ventilator, a patient on a ventilator, what needs to be done, what cannot be done, till what are the limits which they should go about. And we not only focused on our experiences. What we did is we brought people from other countries also, like UK, Australia, UAE, where people are actually going through a similar cycle and have been doing something in these new innovative areas. So one very thing, although various experts say we should not be looking at this, but it's a very controversial topic, but I just like to mention. हमारे यहाँ पे इतने वेंटिलेटर्स नहीं थे, पूरी दुनिया में वेंटिलेटर्स नहीं थे, तो उस समय ये होता था कि अगर आप आइडियल सिचुएशन में देखें तो एक वेंटिलेटर एक ही पेशेंट के लिए यूज किया जाना चाहिए. But what has it started been doing is with the innovative thing that a single ventilator could have been used for multiple patients now. So they have put in some valve in between with which they could use it at least for 2 or 3 patients. So it's like how you actually come around and devise new strategies to deal within the given resources. COVID, nobody was prepared because that was something which struck all of us, suddenly. So no one was prepared for this kind of a calamity. I think this is a pandemic which has given us new opportunities, as Nitha also mentioned, probably, like we're doing a webinar today. Nobody have thought of having these kind of webinars, become a common norm. So this has become a new norm now. So for any training, in fact, just to add to it, we are doing our board meetings on the webinars now, on the, the e-platforms as well. So we did that, In fact, the government norms also allowed that you can actually do your board meetings on, e-meetings as well, which was not allowed earlier. So I think it gives a lot of new opportunities. Yes, online training is a little bit constrained, that you can't replace it with hands-on training, which is very essential, at least for healthcare. But what we're trying to devise is there are certain pieces which can be done online. There's certain portion of the entire training which can be done online. So what we're trying to do right now is online training clubbed it with the on-the-job training. So say, for example, certain, online training has been provided on the mannequins, etc. Of course, they will see it and they can do it at their places also with a person like you are at home. They can use their, a brother, sister actually as a dummy at home and do that practice if they want to do it. Say, for example, if a person has to be trained on just CPR, I think you can do it at home as well. That person can be trained. But there's a limitation now. So for example, if you have to teach a person to take a sample, probably can't do it because you can't prick your brother or sister to take a sample. You need to have an IV arm to do that. So there are limitations to it, but while the student goes back to the training, go back to the institution, there they will learn that. So there'll be a mix of those things. And during this COVID time, what we also did is we are trying to now shift to, which we thought earlier is probably online training is a difficult task for healthcare. I think we are also changing ourselves, if I have to say it, in our thoughts as well. We are trying to see how best we can give the online training and add it with the online on-the-job training at the hospital or the healthcare facility itself. So the component person is readied to be deployed in hospital with some basic training, and then the person learns on the job. So I think we are also learning over the period how we can evolve over the period. But yes, there are the limitations, but there are opportunities as well which can be looked at. And as I said, COVID has, it also brings us some various new opportunities for anyone and everyone. In the sense, we have not looked at the job rules, which we haven't thought of earlier. Say, for example, telehealth suddenly has been picked up. I think if, as a person, you always wanted to actually meet with your doctor face to face. You didn't want to meet him over the call and say, take the consultation. I think now today what is happening, everybody is fine to take the consultation, looking at a screen also and saying, okay, fine, I'm happy to, talk to my doctor over a screen and get my prescription done, which was not earlier the case. Patients in our country probably today also would feel more comfortable if you can speak to the doctor face to face and get the, because that's given them satisfaction कि हमने बात किया और हमें समझ में आया कि क्या हो रहा है. But that's been changing now. Second, sanitization has become a big thing now. So anything and everything has to be sanitized multiple times. आप टैक्सी में जा रहे हैं, Uber use करते हैं, Ola use करते हैं, तो आप चाहेंगे कि वो actually sanitize हुआ कि नहीं हुआ. So there's specialized workforce which is being created now, which will actually go into only sanitization of these things, public places. आप malls में जा रहे हैं, hospitals में जा रहे हैं, wherever you go, I think sanitization will play a big role now. This will become a new role. So I think there are multiple opportunities which has come up because of this, and there's large role. I think large workforce can be actually utilized here. अगर आप देखें सैनिटाइजेशन, जैसे अभी आपने कहा कि आप रूरल एरियाज में काम करते हैं, मेधा ने ये बताया कि वो फार फ्लंग एरियाज में काम करते हैं. Sanitation is required there as well. So there are many people who can become self-entrepreneur themselves now. कि अगर हम गांव में एक पंचायत में 5 लोग को ये ट्रेन कर दें और वो अपना आप में एक सेल्फ एंटरप्रेन्योर बन जाए कि गांव के आसपास के एरिया को सैनिटाइज करें, तो we could do a lot of work as well, actually sanitizing the whole country, in a manner if we can do it across the country.
Thank you, sir. I will come back to you. So coming to Ashish Malhotra ji, sir, I want to know from you, why is upskilling necessary for the youth in the post-COVID India?
On the dynamics and requirement of industry or any particular job role or any profession, they have gone and are undergoing a change, because nobody, as Ashish rightly said, pointed out, COVID, nobody knows what is to be done, and it came as a shock to all of us. And how to cope up, the way things are moving, how to cope up is an area what is upskilling is. Things which were important and basic earlier are normal post-COVID. So, considering the dynamism, the change of dynamics, pre-COVID and post-COVID, the upskilling in every area is required, because the requirements have changed, the necessities have changed, the perception has changed, and more on top of it, the habits of all the people are undergoing a change. So it is not necessary what was present and needed in pre-COVID time. It might be obsolete post-COVID. So that's the reason upskilling is crucial.
I want to know from all the panelists one question: what new job roles you visualize for the youth in the post-COVID area? New job roles. This is for all the panelists. Please highlight.
Okay, I guess manufacturing sector and IT sector. IT, especially the analytics, the artificial intelligence, manufacturing, banking to some extent. These will be the new upcoming areas.
Medha ji?
I think to some degree we're still in the middle of the storm, and अगले कुछ time में हम कहाँ जाते हैं will determine it a little. I know there's a lot of conversation around manufacturing, especially with the opportunity with all that's happening with China and people looking to diversify their supply chains, but these are things that take much longer. I think कुछ चीजें तो लग रही हैं. I think one is that nature of jobs may change, not necessarily major shifts in where employment happens, but I think nature of jobs we're seeing shift already, right? For example, बहुत सारे जो hospitality है, where they would train a lot of front office staff. I think a lot of them just having skills like packaging and so on, because a lot of them are converting into home deliveries and so on. So I think those are important skills. Just people having access and ability to use digital is going to be really important, क्योंकि जो process आप automate कर सकते थे, there was a reason people wanted to automate it even earlier. I think वो अभी और भी reason बढ़ गया है. So anything that can be automated, people will want to automate. तो वो skill लोगों के पास और भी बेहतर होना, I think बहुत जरूरी रहेगा. तो वो एक सभी के job में अभी कुछ percentage लोगों के job होता था, वो शायद थोड़ा बढ़ जाएगा. And थोड़ा I think gig हम इंडिया हैज बीन एन इनफॉर्मल इकोनॉमी, तो बोलना कि गिग इकोनॉमी कुछ नई चीज है इंडिया में मे बी रॉन्ग, क्योंकि किसी प्रकार का तो है ही हमारा इनफॉर्मलाइजेशन. बट आई थिंक वो थोड़ा पॉसिबिलिटीज ऑफ players trying to consolidate ये प्लेटफॉर्म इकोनॉमीज जो होती हैं. तो फॉर एग्जांपल अभी हम देख रहे हैं कि डोमेस्टिक वर्कर्स को सबको रिक्वायरमेंट है, बट पीपल वांट रिलायबल सोर्स की उनसे आप ले पाए जिनके पास टेस्टिंग की गई हो एंड सो ऑन. तो we're seeing कि कुछ digital platforms may also try to sort of consolidate that. There is of course a lot of conversation कि healthcare workers की requirement होगी, hopefully again depending on the role governments take in it, उनके requirements क्या आते हैं. I think उन चीजों पे काफी हद तक निर्भर है, but existing jobs का nature change होगा. For example, आप पहले अपना काम कराने के लिए, now the person may come to your house and you may want someone who's wearing a mask, who has hygiene taken care of, who's wearing gloves. तो वो सारी चीजें, I think nature of jobs changing is something we see. जहाँ पर टेलीफोन के माध्यम से काम किया जा सकता है, डिजिटल के माध्यम से काम किया जा सकता है, I think that definitely will also see some change. But again, I think industry is best placed to answer this, so I'll refrain from saying.
Tasleem, please highlight new job roles for youth post-COVID.
So what I see during COVID period is also all the competitors who have been with me, so they are using their 100% digital platforms. So for example, a girl from Beauty Therapy, she was a competitor along with me in WorldSkills Kazan. Now she has become one of the blogger where she is going on giving workshops, online workshops on how to do the makeup, how to do the skincare. She's giving a workshop at least month twice, and she is earning from it. For the people who are in graphic technology or web technology, they are organizing such kind of workshops. And there is a guy from painting, he's doing arts and he's giving workshops and that. So they are using the use of digital platform has been increased during the COVID period. And these are they are trying to be the people, especially I see the people who are from India Skills or World Skills, they are trying to use their potential to the fullest and make use of it for use of the digital platform, because people are at home, people are in quarantine, so the most they see or the most they are using is the digital platforms like Instagram or Facebook. So they're making complete use of it and conducting workshops, and that's improvising themselves in their skills and making being an entrepreneur.
Great. Ashish Jain sir.
Ji ma'am.
So how do you think the new job roles would be there for youth post-COVID?
No, I think I mentioned some of them in my last remarks as well. Like, for example, we're talking about tele-consultations now. So there's a role which would be required is somebody need to coordinate between a physician and a patient now as well. Even if they're visiting hospitals, so there is something like what we're creating now is a telehealth coordinator, which would be required and desired in multiple places. That is already in advanced stage. The other role which we are looking very, very aggressively is about as I mentioned, about the sanitation and hygiene kind of a profile. One already which we have is the sanitary health aid, which is which the employability for which will become multiple times now given the current scenario. I think these are some of the things which will come up in a great we expect to see a great boom in these areas, because I think the idea is that people are focusing on these at this point of time. So we definitely would see at least uptaking of these couple of roles now.
Great. So coming to you, Tasneel, as a world skill champion, how according to you can make some skills aspirational for youth of our country?
Okay, making some youth aspirational. So now, as we see, ma'am, the medal win by India from 2015 to 2019. Let's see. Today morning when I wake up to that message only. So the number of medals which India won in World Skills has been completely increasing. This time we won 1 gold, 1 silver, and 3 bronze, 2 bronze, and 15 medallion for excellence. So this all is being an inspiration for the people, and they are taking everyone as a role model. So after I come from WorldSkills also, I've been conducting a lot of orientation programs, and even though the registration has been over and still from Tamil Nadu we are moving on to the state level competitions, I conducted a webinar yesterday for a college. So they're still asking me about how to do the registrations. I want to be one of a skill champion. I want to be the next champion. And even though during the COVID period, I'm being a part of health and social care, I get a lot of, there is a girl competing from Tamil Nadu. She's a biomedical engineering, but she is interested in health and social care. She's competing. She's now going to represent the stage in health and social care. So all the champions are being very inspirational. So we are taking them as a role model. And even though there is something called this, they are forced to take some courses. They may be studying, maybe she's studying engineering because she is forced, but she wanted to pursue her passion. So WorldSkills has paved a way to follow their passion and to take up their job roles in that itself. So all the skill champions are being inspirational to them. They take them and they are following them as a role model, as I saw now. So even now I won a medallion for excellence. A lot of people come to me for asking for training. Could you train me? I get, after the registration has been started, my Facebook or my Instagram, but like they somehow, the people who have passion somehow find your account, somehow they come and message you asking for how to prepare. Even in the COVID times, there are two girls calling, one from Odisha and one from Tamil Nadu, calling me and asking how to prepare. These are the leisure times I have, and how can I improve myself? How can I improve myself in the skill, and what are the places I should focus on? Is there any website I can learn? So these are the questions they put up. Same like me, I talk to my friends who are other competitors. They also tell me that they are getting a lot of questions, even though they are conducting question and answer sessions, live videos on Instagram, so that they can help other people, they can help other champions, they can build champions next time. So all the champions are being inspirational, and they take them as a role model to build themselves.
Great hearing you. So
Thank
Ashish Malhotra ji, this one is particularly for you. After the recent launch of the Atmanirbhar Skilled Employer Mapping Portal, how do you think it will help in linking trainees with potential employers and employees?
I don't know how to answer this because not yet exposed properly.
Let me
But,
answer that, Ashish, if you
Yeah, that will be better. Thank you.
So what has happened, Mansiji, is in this case, and for panelists, I think NSDC along with MSD has taken a great initiative to map the skill set of these migrant workforce which has gone back to their home states, the skill set which they have. I think that mapping is being done, and then it's being tried and seen. Like, I don't know how many of you have seen the Honorable PM's also message today. I think is emphasized on three things. One is skilling, reskilling, and upskilling. And precisely the same thing is being targeted here through this platform as well. That whatever skill set those migrant workforce already have, how can we build on those skills if required, and how we can reskill if required, how we can upskill them. So like currently we are also working with various state governments today to see how we can actually engage with the migrant workforce which has returned back to states of, let's say, UP, Bihar, Orissa, or Rajasthan, and how can we ensure that they are gainfully employed in their own states now. So this has been done across sectors, not only healthcare, whichever areas they are, and there are innovative ways being looked at around this area as well. So I think that's all the platform is meant about, and I'm sure this will do great for our country in terms of putting right person for right job. Industry also needs people now which has gone back to certain states. If you look at various stories, probably I think as an industry also is feeling this pinch now because they don't have we already started unlocking, things are opening, but where is the labor workforce? We don't have that workforce with us now. So I think it will be very, very pertinent that we can actually train these people, put them on the job, which is highly, highly required by the industry today. And I think then we would look forward that probably the displacement from the home state would also be limited. So it will not, we will not see so much of reverse migration happening to those metro states like Delhi, Maharashtra, which has happened in the past, because there is a possibility of deploying them in their home states as well.
So we have almost come to the end of the webinar. Today is a very auspicious day, World Youth Skills Day. So on this occasion, Taslim, I want to hear from you. What would be your advice to the youth on joining vocational courses?
As like when I was joining the occasional course, there was no much support, ma'am. So after people see the awareness, after people see the importance of vocational education and the job opportunities, especially, even I'm telling people, even if I have to suggest my sister, as I told you earlier, I would suggest her to take the vocational education, because that will like the mindset of the people has now changed, and they are seeing the development, they are seeing the like impacts of the vocational education on the people. So World Skills or India Skills is a great platform for that, as Ashish sir told in the first itself. So whoever has not registered this year should definitely register next time, because on inspiration, I would say Sanjoy, who's a bronze medalist this time, he has dropped his education in his 8th standard, and he's a silver medalist this time because he's excelling in his skill, he's excelling in the vocational education. And we have also gone to Russia. We have seen how the education systems are, how there is a one thing called as one school one country, where they take Indian team members to their school, and they show us how the things are, how the vocational educations are, how the education systems are. And we need to start giving such importance to the passion, and we need to start giving more vocational education importance to the youth, as well as this India Skills is a very good platform to use this thing. So I would suggest, or I would advise all the youth who have not registered this year should definitely register next year, and should completely work hard on that. If you have the passion, this is the best platform. This will give a very good impact on yourself as well as your family situation, and it will give you a great career opportunities, and we have seen a lot of living experiences from that.
Thank you. So the concluding remark from all the panelists to the youth for joining skill program. Ashish Malhotra ji, to begin with you.
Okay, ma'am. We all know there are schemes and there are competitions, and then there is World Skills. That's where your aspiration get acknowledged. Your aspiration to excel is given an opportunity, and it makes you famous and successful in your area of work, life. Taslim is one example of in healthcare. Like that, all the candidates which I have seen over the years, they are very well placed at such a young age, in early 20s, which is a plus point. It's a great start. And it's not just the competition is one thing. The otherwise also studies everyone does. But when you get into vocational studies or skilling, it is something different or added advantage you have. So all the best, get involved.
Medha ji?
जी, तो आई थिंक मैं NSDC की लाइन चोरी करूंगी. NSDC का एक गाना है which is really beautiful. हुनर है तो कदर है, which I think is great. तो आई थिंक हाथ में एक स्किल होना हमेशा जरूरी होता है. सो जहाँ इंटरेस्ट हो, जो आपको स्किल मिल सके, वो जरूरी है लेना अपने साथ. बट आई थिंक द वन इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग दैट वी ऑलवेज हर्ड ऑफ इवन बिफोर कोविड, बट आई थिंक इट्स बिकम इवन मोर इम्पॉर्टेंट, इज द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट एबिलिटी इज गोइंग टू बी लर्निंग टू लर्न. चीजें बदलती रहेंगी, समय बदलता रहेगा, टेक्नोलॉजी बदलती रहेगी. सो जस्ट द एबिलिटी, कभी भी इसीलिए डिजिटल स्किल्स की बार बार बात करते हैं कि आपको सीखना आना चाहिए. एक कोर्स सीख लीजिए, बट वो सीखते रहना पड़ेगा. तो अभी की जो जनरेशन है, हम लोग सब देखेंगे कि उनकी नौकरियां का टाइप बदलते रहेगा, क्या जॉब्स अवेलेबल हैं वो बदलती रहेंगी. यू ऑल्सो आस्क्ड हाउ आर जॉब्स गोइंग टू बी इन द पोस्ट कोविड वर्ल्ड. सो आई थिंक सभी स्टूडेंट्स को ये याद रखना चाहिए कि सीखना वो एक कोर्स सीखने के लिए नहीं है, वो कोर्स है ताकि हम सीखें कि कैसे सीखना है. एंड नाउ वी हैव इंटरनेट विच इज द बेस्ट टीचर. आई थिंक पिछले कुछ महीनों में बहुत सारे वीडियोस देख रहे हैं, सभी शेफ बन चुके हैं, सभी ने कुकिंग, क्लीनिंग, सारे अलग अलग स्किल्स नए नए सीखे हैं. तो आई थिंक कोई भी स्किल सीखा जा सकता है, इंटरनेट को इस्तेमाल करना सीखें और वो एबिलिटी रखें कि हम सीखेंगे, सीखते रहेंगे. तो आई थिंक वो सबसे जरूरी है. बाकी कोर्सेज इज अ स्मॉलर पार्ट ऑफ द लॉन्गर लाइफ.
Ashish Jain sir.
I would only like to say this in concluding remarks. I think if you look at the greatest people you know in the history, I think they all are, majority of them are dropped out from the schools, colleges. So they have the skill set, they had the passion. Jahan aapka passion hai, skill set, please go with that. And I think as Medha just mentioned, and as the motto of the NSTC also, I think the skills in hand is very important wherever you are. I think this will make you survive in any condition. Only thing is, if you have a skill set, you will survive any situation, whether it's COVID, whether it's not COVID, whether it's something else. So just keep on skilling yourself with any of these streams, whichever you feel you have passion for, just go for it.
Taslim, you have already advised the youth, but any last sentence? You are muted.
Yeah, I completely accept with what Ashish sir said last. So he said, if you have skill, you can excel anything. So that's what I would say. But being a champion here and being called as being a panelist here, what I would say is I would request everyone to be participating in India Skills and be the champion next time, because that skill you are going to learn from India Skills is worth everything. Your career, the skill you learn from an institution and the skill you learn from India Skills is completely different. That will completely change you into a new person. And also I would like to conclude saying a happy World Youth Skills Day to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you all our panelists. You have really enriched our discussion. But before we leave, I want to highlight that website csarindia.org. We have all our skills listed there, and we are still open in getting admission for our online course on office assistant. So with that note, our email addresses and the website addresses are flashed in the chat box. Please refer to that. Thank you all. Thank you and good evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Stay safe.